All right, guys. One of the things that I want to correct here real quick is I don't really like the way that this has. Let me show you again. Enable it. So I don't really like the way that this trimmed my buildings and the hills in the background. It makes it look kind of hokey and fake, like like a 1960s movie set. Kind of like White Christmas, how you could tell that everything was a background that was done in a movie studio. So I'm going to show you real quick how to fix that sort of thing. Also, I don't know. Oh, that's because I chose color thing. All right, I'll try to fix that too. But anyway, so what I'm going to do with this one is I'm actually going to grab the sharper model, and the problem with it was that I had an effect turned on for depth of field. So with depth of field, what you'll notice is that it came through as a rather fuzzy edge, and that's because if you look at like if I change the focus distance, right, I could push it all the way back and it's going to get sharper, pull it all the way up here. So I fell somewhere in between where the building was sharp, but the background was not. So I just need to turn that one off. I'll hide that, and I'm going to re-export my alpha map. Let's call this one 12. Cool. And I'm going to take this one back into Photoshop. So what I can do here is essentially just take this one out. Notice how this one has that fuzzy edge there. That created a problem for me. So I'll take that one out, and let's see here. Yeah, let me just delete everything that's on that. Get rid of that. And then I'll go grab 12 Sky Alpha, drop that one in. I need to fix this real quick. So let me grab my lasso. Oh, I'll turn my filters off so it's not annoying. And then paint over that. Oh, this needs to be rasterized. Because it comes in, do you guys know what that means?
No.
Oh, well, if I mention a word and you guys don't understand it, just call it out, okay? So what happens in Photoshop, are you guys familiar with the difference between raster and vector? So vectors are kind of like objects, right? They're more specifically in like Illustrator or AutoCAD or Rhino. A vector is an object that's mathematically placed in a location and then rendered on screen, for whatever the visibility settings are at the time. Raster is nothing but pixels. So if I stretch this image, it's not going to be pixelated in terms of like the actual software is not going to pixelate it until it's printed or you rasterize it. Okay, does that make sense? A little bit more? So anyway, when you rasterize this, that's how you can modify an image that you've imported. So now I can paint over that, and then do the same thing here again. Except this one's going to be white. Whoops. Got to paint. There we go. There. So now you can see that this is a much sharper edge. The other thing, and this is kind of more of a Lumion problem, I think, than anything else, is that Lumion right now is not doing translucency. So the glass that's in front of the building right now, it's going to cut that out. So we might need to manually go in and revise that. I'm not sure exactly what solution to take on that right now, but Maxwell's better at that. Maxwell can do translucency for the glass. And I have a post up with the developers of Lumion to see how we can do translucency here. But they'll get back to me. So anyway, I'm going to select this whole section again. And I think the way I'm going to try to do this is I'm going to take everywhere that I have glass and I'm going to deselect that from this function. So let's do, I'm going to grab my lasso, and if you hold, I think it's Control? Now I'm forgetting. Shift is to add. I thought Alt, yeah, Alt. If you hold Alt, you can just draw another box that's going to unselect an area. So I'm going to go around this section here and just try to get everything where I have glass, and it should be this profile, like that. Actually, that's not how I wanted to do this. I need to inverse it first. Sorry. Select inverse. Now I'm selecting all white. And hold Alt. And go through there. There. So that deselected it. You guys see that? You can understand what happened? Any questions about that? What just happened?
Oh, so now you're selecting the outer white ones?
Yeah, I'm only selecting everything up here because that stuff up there, I didn't build any glass above that level. Okay. It's just glass up to here, and then that's it. All right. So the reason I did that is so that I can take that selection, and I want to show you guys another trick too, so that we don't have to keep jumping back and forth between the alpha mask here. I can save this selection and use it later. So I'm going to go to select, and I'm going to say save selection. So I'm just going to call this thing alpha BG for alpha background. Hit OK. And then even if that's off and I accidentally deselect that, I can go and say, actually, let me clear out this mask first so that it looks like what we're trying to do. There we go. So even if I accidentally deselect it and you know, I messed it up, right? I don't have to go back into my alpha mask to reload it. I can just say select load selection, go here and click on alpha BG and load that up. Okay, so now you can see a little bit more of what I did, right? I deselected where this glass section was that was showing as white. So that way, you know, if it's really clear glass and you can see the sky behind, it might be problematic, but this is really reflective glass. So it might not be that much of a conflict with our sky from Tatooine. Okay. So jumping back into the rendering here, the thing that I need to fix now is, you see how that's soft still? Well, that's because not only was my alpha mask a soft edge, but also my raw image was a soft mask. So I need to replace that as well. So I'll go into this layer. I'm going to deselect that and just, you know, clear it out. I'm just going to make it white. Actually, it's going to make me create a new layer anyway, so it doesn't really matter. You can just delete that layer, to be honest. So just delete that. So this is my new one. It came in with a much sharper edge. That's good. I'm going to go to layer mask and reveal all. So now I'm set up again the same way I was before. I can click on the mask here. You guys can't see that, but I click on the mask and then say select, load selection, change this to alpha BG, and then paint, and I'm going to paint on my mask with the color black, and there's my Tatooine sky. Okay, so with all of that, right, all I had to do was just replace that information to get it to be a sharper edge, and now you don't see that really distracting fuzziness around these elements. So when I turn my filters back on, it feels like it's a little more natural at least. Does that make sense? So the other thing I can do is maybe bring down some of the shadows of the hills in the background, I suppose. So let's go and try. You need to make sure that you have the layer selected, but I'll go to Adjustments. Let me see if I can do it with shadows and highlights. Actually, I don't think that's going to do it the way I want it to. It's going to pull out too much green. We can edit the green color if we want, but anyway, I'm not going to worry about that now. Now I will have to go in and fix that corner up again and stuff like that, but you know, you guys now know how to do that. Okay? What questions do you have? Okay, that took a little bit longer than I wanted it to, so I'm going to stop this video and then we'll move into the other stuff.